Everyone asks for Tenerife Sea at weddings. Here's how I play it so it feels intimate, full, and doesn't fall flat in a live situation. Hello folks, my name is Lee Townsend and I am a full-time musician based on the south coast of Spain, and I specialise in wedding performances, and because of that I get asked all the time if I can play Ed Sheeran's Tenerife Sea. So I thought I'd jump on here today and do a quick tutorial of how I play this song live at weddings. And sometimes this song can fall a little bit flat on its face when you try to do it as a solo song. Obviously on the record there's quite a bit of production and stuff. So this isn't going to be a note for note thing as such, it's just going to be a how I get this song to sound full and lively enough in a live situation. So I'm going to start off with the tuning that the guitar should be in for this song, and that is the same as standard tuning except the G string is tuned down to an E. So the G, so it should sound like, and then we're going to put the capo on the 4th fret of the guitar. So those notes should sound like this. And for the most part, the song follows the same chord progression and the same finger picking pattern. So I'm going to start off by explaining the finger picking pattern, and it's a little bit complicated at first, but once you sort of get into it, get the rhythm of it going, then it becomes kind of second nature. So obviously the strings that you're actually plucking will vary throughout the chord progression, but the bare bones of it is your thumb on the bottom E string, then your thumb again on the D string, then your first finger on the G string, which obviously is tuned down to an E, but for the purposes of this video we're going to still call it the G string, then the thumb on the bottom E string again, and then the second finger on the B string. So it should look like thumb, thumb, 1, thumb, 2. Thumb, thumb, 1, thumb, 2. So something like that. So it's pretty much that all the way through, to be honest, apart from a few little embellishments. And the chords themselves, the first chord looks like an E minor shape. Obviously, we're capoed on the 4th fret, so technically it's a G sharp minor, but for the purposes of this video, we're going to name the chord shapes in relation to the capo, and we'll do the same with regards to fret number as well. So this is going to be fret 1, fret 2, fret 3, fret 4. So E minor shape played with that finger picking pattern that we've already talked about should sound like this. And then the second chord in this progression is going to be just moving the first finger from the A string there to the same fret on the bottom E string. And the finger picking pattern is exactly the same, so it should sound like. And then the third chord in this progression is taking everything off and putting the first finger on the 2nd fret of the D string. And the finger picking pattern is going from the A string, not the bottom E string. So the whole thing should sound like this. So we play that 3 times over like I just did, and then there's another little section to this which is the same finger picking pattern as the third of the chords in that first little section. So we're going from the A, so A with the thumb, D with the thumb, first finger on the G, thumb on the A, second finger on the B. But the chords are going to be from the first finger on the 4th fret of the A string and the 3rd finger on the 6th fret of the D string. That's the first chord of this little section. So you've also got to be very careful to let the G and the B strings ring out because they're open notes in this situation. And then the next chord is just moving all of that down 2 frets. So, and then the 3rd chord is the same as the 3rd chord in the first section. So just that first finger on the 2nd fret of the D string. So the whole progression should sound like this. And that's kind of the main bones of the song. Most of it kind of goes over that. There are a couple of other bits, but I just want to quickly talk about these little hammer-on and pull-off embellishments that you can do, namely on the 2nd fret of the B string. So there's 2 versions of it. One's slower and one's faster. So you've got a slow version and a fast version. So they should sound something like this. So hopefully you can see what's happening there with regards to the hammer-ons and pull-offs. It literally is always on that string, the B string on the 2nd fret, so open to 2nd to open. And that's the reason that I use the 1st finger for the 3rd chord, so that I can reach it with my 2nd finger. So just makes it easier to reach, that's all. So then after that section, you've got the pre-chorus, which starts on the 3rd chord of the main progression. So, should this be the... And then back to the E minor shape, the 1st chord of the progression. Last thing I... And then the 5th chord of the whole progression. The one where the 1st finger is on the 2nd fret of the A string, and the 3rd finger is on the 4th fret of the D string. That chord. So, should this be the last thing I see? I want you to know it's enough for me. It's all that you are, it's all that I'll ever need. And you'll notice that I'm not actually using the finger picking pattern at all anymore. I'm just kind of flicking the strings with my nail. And it just makes it easier to get that groove, especially whilst singing as well. So just a... So that is most of the song. After that, you've got the chorus, which is just the same as the verse chords. So in love, so in love, so in love, so in love. And notice that I'm not using the finger picking pattern again. I'm kind of in between strumming and finger picking with that, and it just sort of takes away the brain power of having to focus so much on that. And it makes it feel a bit nicer as well, I think. So the whole song pretty much is repeated at that point. You've got a verse, pre-chorus and chorus, and then you've got that other little section where the vocal harmonies kind of loop over each other. And I always use a loop pedal when I'm playing live, so I've got my Boss RC500 here at my feet, and I have a microphone plugged into that, which I'll put into place there. And so for this section, the chords are the 4th chord in the main progression, so the first one of the second part, where you're up on the 4th fret of the A string. So, and then we're jumping down to the 3rd chord, that kind of A chord, then the 1st chord of the main progression, the E minor shape, and then the 5th chord of the main progression. So, and then at the end you've got that chord on the 2nd fret of the A string. So, but whilst I'm playing that, I'm looping vocal harmonies. So the first one is Lumiere, darling, Lumiere over me. And then the second one is going to be Lumiere, darling, Lumiere over me. And then the third harmony is going to be Lumiere, darling, Lumiere over me. So I'll show you how that sounds all looped in together. So 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. Lumiere, darling, Lumiere over me. So straight away after that third one, you need to stop the loop and go back into the pre-chorus. The should this be the last thing I see? Want you to know it's enough for me. 'Cause all that you are is all that I'll ever need. And back into the chorus. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm not going to waffle on anymore. I think this video's probably gone on for long enough. But if you like this kind of thing, if you got any value out of it, make sure that you give me a thumbs up below. And if you've got any questions, if I've not explained anything properly, you can always use the comments section down below to ask me questions. And talking of asking me questions, you can also join my Discord server, which is linked in the description down below, should you need to ask me any direct questions. There's a group of us on there. We always talk about guitar and gear and all that kind of thing. It's quite fun. So other than that, thank you very much for getting to the end of the video. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. The subscription link is down there. It doesn't cost you anything to do, and it helps the channel massively. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.